What's going on, everyone? I'm AB Sports, and today I am going to be breaking down the top 10 NFL offensive triplets. Triplets are one quarterback, one running back, and one pass catcher per team. And I made this top 10 list by ranking every team's quarterback, running back, and top pass catcher from 1 to 32. Then I compiled a list together by adding up the positional rankings. Let's get into the list. At number 10, the Baltimore Ravens, with Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, and Mark Andrews. If you saw my last video, I'm projecting Baltimore to win the Super Bowl, so I'm obviously very high on them this season. The reason they won't rank at the very top of a list like this is because of their committee approach. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins should mix in with Ingram, preventing him from becoming too high among running backs. And the Ravens' passing volume just isn't high enough to support a top 10 pass catcher. Regardless, Jackson keeps them up into the top 10 with his elite rank among quarterbacks. At number 9, the Dallas Cowboys, with Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and Amari Cooper. I don't think Dak Prescott is that great of a quarterback, but he sure has the weapons to be. Zeke is elite, and he will continue to be throughout the season. I put Cooper as Dallas's top wide receiver for the time being, but if he finishes third behind Lamb and Gallup, I wouldn't be surprised. Similar to Baltimore, but with wide receivers, Dallas has too much of a committee to vie for the top spot in triplets, but Zeke and the amount of offensive production should keep them between 5 and 10 throughout the season. At number 8, the Seattle Seahawks, with Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, and Tyler Lockett. The Seahawks have a lesser-known group of skill position players who always produce. Russ is the only quarterback in NFL history to have 8 straight winning seasons to begin a career. Carson was 5th in the NFL in rushing yards last year as a 7th round pick, and Lockett is one of the best deep ball wide receivers in the league who catches everything thrown his way. At 7, the Atlanta Falcons, with Matt Ryan, Todd Gurley, and Julio Jones. I think Matt Ryan is going to lead the league in pass attempts in 2020. Gurley's status is uncertain, but he has too much talent to make him too low on the running back list. On the other side of the coin, Ryan and Julio were well inside the top 10 for their respective positions, and I think Ridley will be too by the end of the season. Because of the question marks everywhere on Atlanta's offense and their subpar defense, they should have a ton of offensive production between Ryan, Julio, and Ridley. At number 6, the Cardinals, with Kyler Murray, Kenyon Drake, and DeAndre Hopkins. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm very high on the Cardinals this season. Kyler Murray really showed a lot of flashes last year, and the arrival of DeAndre Hopkins can't be underestimated in its importance for his development. I also think that Kyler can be a top 5 quarterback by season's end. Don't sleep on Kenyon Drake, who went off in the final 8 weeks of Arizona after he didn't have to run behind Miami's offensive line anymore. Number 5, the Tennessee Titans, with Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and A.J. Brown. It would be hard for someone to convince me Derrick Henry isn't a top 2 running back. That ranking obviously does a lot for Tennessee's overall spot, but don't forget how good A.J. Brown was his rookie year. I think he establishes himself as a bona fide top 10 and maybe even top 5 wide receiver this year. Tannehill is also in the perfect situation in Tennessee. He is much better when he isn't the centerpiece of an offense. At number 4, the Minnesota Vikings, with Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, and Adam Thielen. Recently paid Dalvin Cook should once again be the engine that makes the Vikings offense go. With Adam Thielen's injury last year, people don't remember how good of a player he is and how special of a connection he has with Kirk Cousins. And say what you want about Kirk Cousins, he is one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league today. At number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Tyreek Hill. Now, if this ranking was for offense as a whole, I would have the Chiefs for sure at number 1. But for just these 3 positions, 2 teams edge them out. I don't need to tell you how good Mahomes and Tyreek are. And if I switched Tyreek for Kelsey, the ranking wouldn't change. I just can't put Clyde into the top 10 for running backs after just one game against Houston's terrible defense. But if he keeps playing like that, the Chiefs will be number 1, and whoever is second will be a distant second. At 2, the Green Bay Packers, with Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Devontae Adams. Outside of these 3, the Packers' offense is dreadful, but this isn't offensive rankings. It's triplets rankings. And in my opinion, Rodgers, Jones, and Adams are all comfortably inside the top 10 of their respective positions. Rodgers is getting older, but still, no one can say he's not a top 10 quarterback. Adams is going to blow up this season, with no other reliable targets for Rodgers to throw to, and Jones is a very good back. But at number 1, the New Orleans Saints, with Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas. Kamara and Thomas are both young superstars, and perfect players for Drew Brees to have as his primary weapons at this stage of his career. Brees does not throw the ball deep anymore, but throwing an 8-yard quick slant to Michael Thomas gets the Saints a minimum of 8 yards, because Thomas always catches it and usually fights for plenty more yards. Also, other than McCaffrey, there's no one I'd rather have in the open space out of the backfield than Alvin Kamara. Can the Saints hold off the Chiefs and the Packers and keep the top spot? Will someone else make a move into the top 3? Which team am I sleeping on that should definitely be inside the top 10? Leave your answers down in the comments below and find out by watching my future Triplets videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, how about leaving a like and subscribing to the channel? Thanks for watching.